there are like 3 spots to put a polynomial. You start with -1 and 0, and you compute 1, and you shift everything that way. So you start here, you remove this one, okay, forget about it, because you just need the 2 previous ones. So you started with 2, and then you compute the next, so the 2 previous ones are now these 2, so you put this one here, this one here. That's what you did here. So computed, remove the first one, put the new one on the first place. Okay. And after this point, P2, okay. So what's the problem with this approach? It is leaking a whole bunch of memory. Because you're losing the address. You forgot to keep track of the address of things, and yet you didn't. So you're never going to use it again. You can't, because you don't have the address anymore. But you didn't give the memory back to the system, so this memory is lost until the end of the program. Again, you can solve that problem. I've already said this, but you can modify the so-called allocator so that you just put everything in like a one after the other, and then once you're done with computing the Legendre polynomial, you just free everything. So you put everything in the same spot, and then you just free at the end instead of having to free while you're computing. So you might think that freeing while you're computing, it's safer. It saves you memory because you just need 2 polynomials. Well, actually, it's slower if you do it naively. And at the end of this segment of the code, it ends up having cost the same amount of memory. But in the next case, it's much simpler because you don't free here. You just compute this, and then you would probably copy this P2 guy out, would copy it somewhere else, and then you would just free everything. Okay. Let's see if that works. Let's put 5. So if it works, it's really not going to. If it doesn't work, it's not going to work at all. P equals Legendre 5. Okay. this analog func stuff. Just it's about interpolation. Okay, so we can try to verify this, right? Legend polynomial degree 5. We can see how they look like. That looks a little bit wrong. It looks pretty wrong. That's like overcomplication. Okay, that works. That should work too. That we're calling next legend. Let's poly p2 equals this, then print poly p2 return p2, then that's just junk. So it's not that looks like we're reading from we're reading from uninitialized memory. It's a problem. Okay. Okay, constant 1.